So for this question, we have an 80-year-old with a history of hypertension, comes into the ED with a feeling that his heart is racing. The EKG shows atrial fibrillation and is started on anticoagulation. The next day, the patient develops a rash on the right arm that progresses to necrosis. What is the mechanism of the necrosis? So A, impairment of protein C leading to clotting. B, impairment of vitamin K leading to bleeding. C, impairment of platelet plugs. D, impairment of factor 2 leading to bleeding. So I'll let you answer the question and then I'll explain. Okay, so the answer is going to be A, impairment of protein C leading to clotting. So for this one, what happens is warfarin, in this case, is what was given. Warfarin blocks VCOR, which is vitamin K epoxide reductase. So this is the enzyme responsible for helping you to have viable clotting factors like 2, 7, 9, 10, and also protein CNS. Now the thing is, these are the clotting factors and part of secondary hemostasis, whereas primary hemostasis is the platelets helping form the initial plug, and then you have the more solid foundation, which are these clotting factors. Now, protein CNS are actually anticoagulants, so they actually help break all this stuff up. Now, the thing is, this actually has a very short half-life, protein C, so it's actually the first one to be affected since it has a short half-life. So once you give warfarin, you actually stop protein C first, right? So since these are used to break up clots, if this is inhibited first, well, now you only have clotting factors and none of the anticoagulants. So now since you only have clotting factors, now you're actually in a procoagulant state, and this can cause clots to form in the skin and lead to the necrosis that you see in this patient. So that's actually why you need to have bridging done. And now bridging is used when you start a patient on warfarin. You first start off with, for example, a drug called heparin. Now heparin allows you to stop the coagulation side of things, so it helps prevent the clotting factors from working well, and then you can start warfarin, so that can also decrease these and then also decrease protein CNS. And so therefore you reduce the side effects or this specific side effect of having this necrosis by starting with heparin, and then they can take warfarin since it's probably easier to use for them and usually cheaper. And for the other answer choice, platelets are not affected by warfarin. So for this question, you essentially needed to know the mechanism of action of warfarin, and then you needed to know that it affects protein C first because it has the shortest half-life, and then this leads to the side effect of necrosis. So I hope that helped, and thanks for watching.